doing today? How you doing? How's your day been so far? You know, when you see me, it's all about this. But you know, there's a little twist this evening because we have a guest. I know it's not a guest. I know you guys know him. You know, he just said you guys in the morning, and he's not me to gist you now. He's here to take my shine again, but no problem. Let's just roll with it like that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for all you do for Gusto TV Africa. We appreciate your likes, your comments, your shares, your referrals. Top notch. Thank you so much. Without you, we cannot be here, and without us, you know, you cannot stay updated. Thank you so much. So without further ado, let's just get right into the news.
Yeah.
You know, my name is Susan, but for the sake of the news, call me Sugar. What's your name?
I don't cram down your entrance in my head. Okay. Yeah, we're here, and I'm super excited to join you guys on the evening drive. We're just here to have conversations, right? I know this is a little bit weird for you guys, a little bit odd, because we're always like standing alone sometimes, but now we just decided to, because what is the gist we have is too much. One person cannot,
you know, it's not possible.
Right.
All right, guys. So you know, without wasting much of our time, into the news. Now to the first headline, guys. We have Ruga and Zlatan. Hey, you guys know that Ruga, Davido, and other artists, you know, they've been raving at they're teasing us new music, new songs. But Ruga now has been on the album, The Blown Boy View.
Yep.
And now we are still stuck with, you know, the first collaboration we should be expecting, which is with Zlatan. Wait, what do you think? Like, did you see this coming?
Honestly, I didn't see it. Of course, I did not imagine that this would happen. But of course, you know, it's Ruga. Ruga has a lot of stuff under his belt. He's an absolute brilliant artist. He's working really hard, super hard. I love him. I love his artistry. I appreciate him as a human being, as a person. And of course, getting this Latin feature, and he said he's played this song for more than how many times?
118 or 14 times.
So you can bet, because every time, the truth of the matter is, Zlatan is undoubtedly one of the kings of collaboration. It goes on and on. So I'm looking forward to this one. I really cannot wait to hear what this banger is going to sound like.
Really. For me, I think that, you know, having Zlatan on the record is also a form of strategy, because, you know, Zlatan has this street credibility, this street acceptance.
Right.
And you know that Ruga credibility with it.
Yeah.
So what do you think we should be expecting from this album? Do you think it's going to eat? Or what other collaborations do you think it will be on this album? I haven't seen since Zlatan first.
Well, so you know, recently what's his name? Ruga actually joined camp with the FCs.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm kind of like maybe I'm shooting too much, maybe I'm expecting too much, but I'm trying to see if he can actually get a wheeze on. That was a secret for the longest, because but overexcitement if you make everything that's going to happen, you know, on the record. Let's see. Fingers crossed, actually. Fingers crossed,
guys. We're crossing our fingers on this. All right, so let's just expect, you know, the best.
Yeah.
The best. Yeah. But for me, I think he should have just stayed on the fence instead of picking FC over 30. What if? Okay. What if? Okay. All right, guys. On to the next. We have, you know, DJ Big Hen. You know, this morning we reported this, you know, about the incident in South Africa.
Yeah.
And there's something about, you know, this when he was explaining. He said, "We visit, we don't judge." I know it's not supposed to be funny here, but I feel like he's trying to be very careful, so it doesn't look like, you know, it's canceling them all. I mean, it's in the entertainment industry now. You can get gigs from South Africa, and what happens when they come and say, "Oh, you've cancelled us, we don't want you in our country."
Yeah.
But then there's something that has, you know, piqued interest in this thing. It's about celebrities and, you know, being very discreet with their location or their movements. And what do you think about the fact that he shared where he was just a day before the incident? Do you think this played a part in what really happened, or it's just coincidence?
Well, the truth of the matter is sometimes the prayer has always been, let's not learn lessons the hard way.
Yeah, very true.
We live in a very strange world where you're only living for yourself. You only know yourself. You only know what you're capable of. But you don't know what the next person is thinking. You don't know what they're planning. And you know, I mean, speaking about what the next person is planning, you also have to really, really move faster than your enemies or your your OPs. For me, I'm really, really sad to hear that this happened to DJ Big N, because he's a stand-up guy, fantastic guy, great guy, always going about his business, really doesn't
Yeah, it's
get
it's
into
not
the
always in the
news,
news. Yeah, that's
for
another thing
negative stuff. So
at
he's a
all.
great guy. I really like him. And it just goes to show that we need to be more, discreet,
It's
because we've seen
crazy.
over time, even for American superstars, who just by just sharing their location, Puerto Rico today, that one, people feel no really like you like that, or like that of a
Yeah,
person, and then with his affiliation with, you know, Don Jazzy, or he's a big guy, he's a
he's a
big
big
star,
person.
so
Yeah.
it's sad that he was the target. I really find this really, really, really upsetting. But I really wish DJ Big and swift recovery, and I hope that he's well. I'm really thankful that he made it out and he didn't get
Yeah,
even worse. Because he
exactly. The
said,
miracle.
yeah, he
The
said that
bullet missed a major artery in his
archery,
and the bone. Oh my
exactly.
god.
So I mean, really thankful that he actually made it out. So it's just a lesson for all of us and for the younger ones, and big superstars out there. Yeah, and sometimes you want to flex and say, "Oh, I'm
Yeah, I'm
here chilling
here.
and all that."
Yeah.
But sometimes, even for me, if I go to a location, for example, sometimes I know they post until like after
You
I don't
never
come up
even
for
be
there.
go. You
I
never
don't,
even be go.
I don't big. You don't know me. Go and read about.
Eh?
Google me. That's an
You
outside
don't
joke.
reach. You don't big reach there.
But I mean, we need to stay safe and actually try as much as possible to keep our heads
Yeah.
underwater sometimes. Maybe every time person go to post, "Oh, I'm here and I'm here at this time of the
Yeah,
day," and
that's
stuff
very
like that.
true.
Right.
Considering who he is again. All right,
Absolutely.
guys. So let's read some of the reactions now. Tommy is saying maybe, but he clearly said traffic light, which is commonly referred to as a robot in South Africa. In SA, it is risky to stop at a robot late at night because that's where you can easily get targeted and robbed.
That's an interesting one. Wow.
And it's funny how people get to have a lot of information about places and
Yeah.
how things just operate there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they live there. They probably might, have lived there, or probably they have
Yeah,
people
or they have
who
people.
live there. And the world is a global space where you can actually get information online.
That's very true.
So it's these things are intels that are available if you really want to dig deep. Sometimes, if I want to travel to a new city, for example, I try to do a little bit digging in. I get intel about the place you need to be, the places you shouldn't be. Even as small as Ibadan. I remember one time I was traveling to Ibadan. I had to do an intel about the place because it was my first time.
Yeah,
Right?
that's very
I needed to
important.
know how to move, when not to move, and things of that nature. So it's important that you get this type of information. It keeps you safe
Yeah,
at
and
least.
even
At least.
yeah. So talking about Intel now, Dante DK, apologies if I didn't pronounce that right, saying they've been following you since. With the Intel being part of your crewmen, you shouldn't have left the first club in the first place. But if you can find who suggested you leave that first club, that's their intel on you. So this person is saying that it's an in-house thing. Like, it's not a coincidence, it's planned. And the person that suggested that, oh, let's leave this place to the other, because DJ Big N actually said they left a club going to the other one before the incident happened. Oh my God. That's why in-house, that's another thing about, celebrities and, having, crews, gangs that they move with. Do you understand? A lot of times, for me, in my personal opinion, I feel like it's not always safe because you can't even really know who is who when they are already too much.
That's true.
So you can't really know who is who.
That's true, and I think that's something that Davido was heavily criticized
for
having too many people around him. But you
him.
can't blame the guy. He's a jolly good fellow, loves people.
That's another thing.
That's his nature to actually have people around him. So yeah, the ideal thing for people who are Christians and to those who are not, whatever you pray or believe in, just pray that you don't get into the wrong side of history, because it's not a pretty thing that's happening with
very
DJ
bad
Big N.
one.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad. And to think that it's not even the kind of person that you would see on the net with crew and gangs and a lot of people to get. So it's really sad to see him on this side of, the story. We just really hope that, he gets recovered quickly. And now this person is saying, now nobody's going to be talking about how terrible. Oh, this person is saying South Africa is terrible as a country, but it's only Nigeria.
Well,
I feel like the reason why Nigeria, is so targeted at is because sometimes I feel like we use social media the most. Any little thing, we've gone to put it on social media. So it's like every other country, everybody knows what is going on in Nigeria. And for the other countries, sometimes we don't even know what's going on there until somebody even comes and say, oh, this thing is going on. But for Nigeria, I think we have that force, we have that power. And I think that's one of the things that influences our international collaborations.
I actually agree with you. You're spot on with that one, Sugar. Spot on with that one.
All right, guys, moving on to the next news. We have, we already reported this in the morning. We say, Wizkid received over 100 million streams on Spotify, and it's quite a huge milestone for him. Even though a lot of people are like, oh, this thing is the one dance effect. Initially I didn't understand the concept of that one dance until I had to dig into the news. I'm like, oh, from way back. It's funny how you do things, and that's why they say be careful what you do, because later it will catch up with you.
Absolutely.
Now this is this has been a win since 2016.
Yep.
Do you understand? And people are still now relating it to his recent victories.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know why people do like that, but this is a huge one for him now. And guys, Olamide on Really album has now surpassed 100 million in streams on Audiomack, and this is his second album to reach this milestone on the platform. Now, Wait, I'm going to ask you, what do you think? It's just like 21 days into 2025, Wizkid has done 100 million. And for Really, it's been released for over a year now.
Yep.
And it is just crossing 100 million on Spotify.
Yep.
Would you say that, this old debate and argument about Wizkid being the biggest and the biggest is now being ascertained following the fact that, Olamide is big. We all believe Olamide to be big, but, taking him more than a year to attain something that Wizkid has covered in just 21 days, would you say that, Wizkid is really that big, is really on that spot that, the FCs and fans has placed him on?
Well, I mean, there's no denying that, Wizkid is a big star. He's international. He's the big bird, like he always says, and calls himself. But I try as much as possible to be careful when we talk about Olamide, because if you look at Olamide's antecedents, in the industry and the things that he's been able to do, the milestones that he's set, the people that he's raised. It's unmatched. It's unmatched. I think the only label or the only person I could put toe to toe with Olamide in terms of how he's been able to galvanize the industry is Don Jazzy.
Don Jazzy, yes,
right? Because he's been there, he's done that. Even in his recent release of Idon Buruku, he said it. I've been there, done that, right? Fuck that top 3 talk. I'm like, yo, don't bring me into all that conversation. So whilst we want to say that the achievement for Wizkid is a standalone achievement, big ups to him. He's still who he is. We give him all that. I really want to be careful, because Olamide is undoubtedly one of the biggest pioneers of the Afrobeat movement. You have to give him his flowers. You have to give him that. He's been able to surpass 100 million on Audiomack, which is quite another streaming platform that is certain almost free, if I have to put it that way. And it is very indigenous, like I call it. It's an indigenous streaming platform. So it goes to show that there is a lot more people leaning towards the side of the street guys, people who they see to be relatable, right? And he's been able to do this times and times without number. He's raised superstars, Fiber, DML, Adekunle Gold. The list is so long. So you have to give him that. So I really would want to celebrate their successes separate from each other. Wizkid, fantastic, amazing superstar. Olamide, one of, if not the goods of the Afrobeat movement. So that's my take.
And talking about raising superstars, I feel like the likes of Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, and all of that, they are still in the space of wanting to still be seen globally. They still want that top spot. But for Olamide, I think it's just like Don Jazzy as well. They are more focused on let see me through the people that I want to build.
Absolutely. Look at what he's done with Ashake.
Who would believe that?
Ashake has grown to be one of the most sought out superstars in the world. Doesn't even live here anymore. There's the rumor going around him splitting with the YBNL group, but we're not touching that. The truth of the matter is, look at the number of people he has raised. And not be small children for the industry. A lot of them have gone on to do great things. There's also Lil Kesh.
Yagi.
So, I mean, Leave him for.
And it's just so beautiful to see that all of the stars that he has raised, none of these lights are dimming.
Absolutely,
they are not dimming. It's not a case of they left and now they are going down.
Yeah,
they're standing strong. Like they stood so strong. Like let me borrow Davido's word. Stand strong.
Yeah,
and they are still standing. They are still there. It's just so beautiful to see actually, and we just wish them success in all of their careers. And personally, my opinion, I would say that for coming stars, I would say that if you're going to be signed to a label or an artist, I think it's important to note that, to understand this person I'm signing to, do they still want to be globally recognized, like me, myself, or they are coming down for me too? Because imagine that Olamide is still in that space of wanting to be seen. I don't think people is trying to raise wood. Do you get? I wanted to.
I see where you're going with that, but I'm not trying to touch that because that's going to really upset and offend the FCs, because the FCs,
they've mentioned they've mentioned something like this before now about
Wizkid.
Yeah, Wizkid and what's this guy name? Starboy Terry. Do you understand?
So are you saying
they said the same thing about
nobody should sign? If Wizkid wants to sign, you don't sign, because he's trying to like.
The thing is, I would just say that if you're going to be signed to a label, be signed under a label that would like sought after your growth. Look at Mavins now. Maybe I feel like it's even an institution on its own.
Okay.
Everybody is growing. Don Jazzy himself is not looking for he's relaxing, like let me grow you people.
The truth of the matter is that we don't know the inside out or all the gist around Terry and
Wizkid. That's true. That's very true, guys. So on to the next. We have Omah. When Omah came with the sound was like really different. So different. And some people would tag the Afro depression. They feel like if you're listening to Omah, it means that you are depressed. So are we now saying that over 900 million people have been depressed over 900 million times? Because now it's crossed 900 million streams on Spotify.
That's impressive.
I mean, when I saw the news, I was like, wow.
That's impressive.
Wow.
That's impressive. You mean Omah's Boy Alone Deluxe?
Exactly.
That is crazy.
It's it's become the second Nigerian debut album and the 6th Nigerian project of all time to surpass the mark on. It's beautiful to see how this, do we even need to call him like one of the young stars? Is that okay?
No, it's
I
not
think
okay.
It's not old.
No, okay.
I'm not saying
it's not an OG. He's not. He cannot be acclaimed to be a pioneer of the movement, but it's not. It's not young
star. As well.
No, it's not.
It's not young. It's not old.
Let's say he's one of the guys.
Okay.
One of them. Guys.
One of the guys. Right. One of the guys. Like I said, one of the guys. So let's just leave it like that. Congratulations to Omah. What's your favorite song of Omah?
Well, see, it's a weird one, but this song dropped at a time where I was feeling like I needed to use that to be able to address some issues.
Okay.
Holy Ghost fire, supernatural.
Boost my confidence. So you didn't have confidence
at the time. I was going through some, and I felt like that song was for me. So I think I'm one of the 900 million people. Or one of the people who have streamed Omah's deluxe album for 900 million times, because it just speaks to a lot of people, and a lot of people can relate to it, can actually vibe to it. They can actually see themselves in the record. So it's brilliant. It's brilliant artistry every time that Omah pulls into the studio to record.
It's actually for me. I've always said that if you can be relatable, it becomes acceptable.
Absolutely. I
should sign on that one of this.
Yeah, no worry, we'll get you to sign on. So
mine has to be so. No context to it. It's just I just like the flow.
Yeah.
The hearts. I just like it. I mean, congratulations to Omah. I mean, he's doing great.
Yeah.
And he's also one of those artists that's not. I mean, should we say free of scandals or almost free of scandals? It's not always,
It's not always in the news for very,
understand?
Very bad reasons.
So when we see these numbers, we know that it's organic. Let's leave the farming issue out of it. We want to believe that it is organic. It's not numbers gotten from clouds or from unnecessary drama on the internet and stuff.
And then, of course, I mean, I'm also interested in seeing what he does on the Davido record. Davido album.
Yeah,
album,
that's
because,
true.
Davido
because
has teased that he's going to be
But
on
you
the
know,
album.
Davido's visual sound is always where's the body. But
Oh,
now
yeah,
that
David.
Omale, maybe Omale is like
Go
thinking
calm
of
on
it.
down a little. We'll see.
Or maybe it's Omale that even maybe Davido will influence Omale at this point.
We'll see.
All right, on to the next song, guys. We also have Odumodu's, Ezioku surpassing 100 million streams on Boomplay.
Yep.
I watched an interview where they were like, Odumodu, explain your type of music. He said, my music is bittersweet. It's like stockfish.
Great guy,
But
intellectual guy. I love him.
if you're going to talk about Odumodu's music, style of music, what's that thing he just says at the beginning? It's just like an incantation.
It's a lot. But it's him referencing his guys and calling his guy and stuff. So yeah, it's good.
Just like summoning them. Like
it's not like, well, you could say someone. You could say
no,
someone.
that's what sounds like.
I love what he does every time. Like,
I like the sound of it.
His guys on every time and tries to
carry
them everywhere he goes. Yeah.
I like it actually. And
for me, I mean, well, to answer your question, to define his type of music, I'll say Afro aggression. All right, he's always aggressive.
The fact that you guys are giving Afrobeat different genre now, Afro aggression.
So he's always aggressive with his, sound. Very aggressive with his lyrics.
Lyrics, that's it.
But I mean,
very blunt.
Safe to say, a lot of people actually get it, so it's good.
And that's another thing about style. It's been identified with. Imagine Odumodu come to sing love song for us now. We'll go on check, say everything there. Okay.
I think that's the versatility that we often speak about with a lot of superstars, right? Because I remember him jumping on a certain record. I'm trying to remember the artist now. This American rapper. I'm trying to remember his name.
Tobe
Wigwe.
Yeah.
And I remember also Davido dissing him and saying, "No, be every time person they shout." For this one now, you calm down, you sing. Didn't you enjoy yourself?
Yeah,
and all that? It was just a subtleties, but I mean, it goes to show that these artists are actually versatile outside what we know them to do. So that's a good one coming from Odumodu, and reaching 100 million streams on Boomplay is quite a feat.
It's a lot. It's like quite beautiful. Congratulations to Odumodu, Omale, Wizkid, every one of you. Congratulations, and thank you. A big thanks to these guys for putting Nigeria and Afrobeat on the map.
Absolutely.
I mean, now you can't talk about music without mentioning Afrobeat. It's like the top.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, moving on to the next, and to wrap up the old news for the evening, we have Davido. I mean, I know we reported this in the morning, and like we told you guys earlier, we're coming here to gist. We're coming here to talk about these things. Now, Davido has been said to have misplaced or lost. He's even lost at this point because not be misplaced. He don't lost his ring. And in the chat shared by Israela, he already said he wants to pay for another Money Na Water. I think CP did not lie when he said Money Na Water.
Absolutely.
Money Na Water. Absolutely. So now you guys have taken to the internet to have you seen the videos where people are like they're jumping into water too?
Trust me, if Davido had said he's going to reward people, anybody who's definitely going to get that ring back, I bet you some people will find their way to wherever he is right now. Jamaica, they'll find their way. But I mean, it's sad that he's lost it.
Yeah.
Of course, he cannot get it because if you don't enter water, you get me. So really hope that he gets a new one. But the truth of the matter is that he has not seen it. There's a lot of funny memes around.
A lot.
It's so crazy.
A lot.
Well, a lot of people are saying if it's PR and all that.
For his upcoming album. But what do you think? For me, I don't think. Even me.
I don't think
because I feel like he's been going so hard about the album, every day pushing the five, and it's his 5th studio album.
Yeah.
So the 5. I really do not think that. I think for me, if anybody is thinking that, this is clouds, I feel like this one will be cheap clouds because where would this get to?
It doesn't make sense. I don't want to ridicule himself. So yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't even get to that point that this is cloud. This is cloud. Something funny that just dropped in my head now. All the stories that they'll say one fisherman caught fish and he now opened it, not so good. He now went to sell, he now had money. Maybe a fish should have swallowed this ring now. Then one fisherman.
That's dabbling too much into myth. It's too mythical. We cannot even imagine that right now.
But anything can happen. Be open-minded.
Yeah, no. It's in the hands of God. It's in the hands of God.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us up to now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me know if you want to see more of Sugar and the way, bringing the news to you like this with our different opinions and, also reporting the news to you. Once again, thank you so much for all that you do for Gustos TV Africa, for all that you do. Your likes, your shares, your comments, your referrals, none of this goes unnoticed. Paul, do you want to give them an advice?
So last year, I was sharing free advice. And everybody was saying, "Oh, boy, we love your advice."
She said we should text you from outside the country.
I even got somebody text me from Jerusalem. My head was blown. I'm like, Jerusalem? So you guys watch us all the way from Jerusalem in Israel? That is astronomical. So they were like, "Okay, Paul, drop your bit of advice now and all that."
Give it to them.
So for me, this year, my own advice for you is take your own advice. I don't get it to tell you.
If I don't get advice,
even me say I dey try advise myself because I'm going back to the advice I was giving you. It was working for you guys. I'm like, why did it work for me? So now I'm taking my own life seriously. Anyways, my own advice is take life slow. Don't be in a rush. No be who first start race the winner. You get me? And tie rope for goat and tie goat for rope. Now the same thing. Live your truth, live in your own reality, and then life will be kind to all of us.
Yeah. By the grace of God, life is going to be kind to all of us. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking with us to this point. I will see you guys tomorrow morning again. Bye.
Bye.